This is a basic display demo of the PET-CT viewer. When the study comes up, it has three different objects on it. The MIP, which is rotating, the PET, and the CT. When it comes up, it's rotating to give you a concept of the 3D location of the tumors. When I want to start actually using it, it's much more convenient to stop the MIP in the forward position, and then I can click on what I want. I want to look at this particular tumor, and I can see it here. Now I can look at the different views of this particular tumor. I can look at it. I'm looking now at the axial view. I can look at it in the coronal view, and this fits nicely to my MIP image. And I can also look at it in the sagittal view. In this case, the MIP is better looked at from the side view. Okay, here you see the three things. I can navigate while I'm here, or I can choose to go back to the axial view. In that case, I prefer the forward view. And that's what I can do with this. Now, the next thing I'd like to show is the zoom. This is the zoom button. When I click on that, my wheel increases the zoom or decreases the zoom. Now, when I have it sufficiently, when it's clicked, if I drag, I can drag the location where I want. And now the tumor is in view. If I click on the kidney, you can see that the pan is shifted such that the tumor is guaranteed to be in view. And in this case, the tumor is out of view. If I click on it, it pans it such that it's in view. Okay, so it's guaranteed to be in view. Let me take a somewhat smaller zoom because I don't generally need to have this thing completely in. Now I'll unclick the zoom button such that I can no longer pan this. Okay, the next thing I want to do is explain what is the meaning of this SUV max. The SUV max is the maximum value at this location. What does that mean? If I go into Edit and Options, I'll show you exactly what it means. It's using this SUV max, and it's looking at it within a 20 millimeter circle. So if I want to show the circle, I can click to show circle, and this cross will be replaced by a circle. Now when I go out, exit out here, and my cross has been replaced by a 20 millimeter circle. Okay, if I want to see a larger circle, I can do that as well. Generally, this is something you don't play with an awful lot. If I want to see what I'm talking about, I can ask for a 50 millimeter circle. Now this is the SUV max in this 50 millimeter circle, which is rather big. Let's go back and see it again. I'll change that back to a 20 millimeter circle. And I can use sphere. The difference here is if I'm using a sphere, it's a three-dimensional object. And this max is not necessarily in the slide which we're looking at. It could be above it or it could be below it. The max in a sphere of 20 millimeters is, in this case, 22.6. Okay, I can change it around. Okay, now the other thing I'd like to see, let's go back and look at this again. Options. I don't want to use a sphere anymore. I want to use it. I want to look at this other one, SUV mean. SUV mean generally is used to find the mean value for a background in the liver. So in this case, I want to unclick this circle, and I want to use the circle in the SUV mean, so I can tell the difference whether I see a circle or a cross, whether I'm looking at the max or the mean. Let's get out of here. And here I'm looking at the cross, I'm looking at the max. Here it is. Now I want to see this alternate region, which I've defined as the mean. Here, use this alternate ROI. Now if I click here, this is the mean in this tumor. Well, the mean is big. Look at the standard deviation, it's huge. Why? Because you've got this hot spot and you've got this very low area. This is not very useful for an average. For an average, you want to click in this area. Now it's 1.79, and the standard deviation is much lower. So this value I could use for a mean for the background in the liver. Okay, that's that. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is show this color bar. You've got this color bar, this box, and this box. What does all this mean? Okay, to see that, first of all, if I move the color bar, you can see I'm changing the display. In fact, I can change it to be much more smooth. I can move it around to my freely. And this is the display, this is the color bar connected to the PET. If I click on this, you'll see that the color bar change. Okay, here it's much smaller because I'm not now this color bar is talking about the CT. And you see, I can play the same games here if I like. Whoop, 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 whoop. And I can change the contrast, do what I like. Now, how do I get back to something which is sort of sane? If I right-click here, I can go back to the chest CT. And here, these are now you can see this 340 is the contrast defined in the preset for that preset, and 56 is the center line of the CT defined for that preset. Okay, so if I go back, that's the chest abdomen preset with these particular values. If I change it to the lung, you'll see totally different values. These are the preset values for the lung. Again, I can play with it, or I can go here and I can choose the liver. Again, that's different preset. Not to go back to the chest abdomen, and this is my 340 and 56. So that's the meaning of these of this box. And if I go over to here, again it's rubbish. If I go here, if I do auto level, again here my baseline is 0 and my window is 5. If I go over to here in the brain, the baseline is the same, but the window is 10. And that's useful for brain scans, which are hotter. This is not a brain, so let's go back to the normal auto factor. Now you've seen I can do this dragging business here, but there's a much nicer way to do it. Just take the drag up and down or left and right, and you can see you're changing the contrast and the location. And this way you can do the same thing on the PET. This way you can look generally and see how the CT looks without fooling around with it too much. If I want to go back to the set of the presets, like that's the chest abdomen, and here the preset is the auto level. So I can get back to normal. Now I want to show something else on how I'm in the mean. I want to go back to the SUV max, so I unclick the auto the alternate region, and I'm back to the SUV max with a cursor. Now I want to show a way. I've showed this way of navigating, but there's a different way of navigating as well. You can navigate with the wheel. I can see a couple slices above or beyond, above or below. Or I can do the same thing by moving down slices. I clicked on this while the focus is. Let me get back to normal. I can put this to the forward mode. Okay, if I want to navigate here with the keyboard or with the wheel, I can move the wheel up and down. I'll go up and down the slice number. I can go drastic differences. If I hit on the home key, I'll go to the head, home key again, I go to the feet, home key again, I go to the head. Feet, head, between the home key. If I want to scroll down by more than one slice, I can use page down or page up. And again, if I want to use the MIP, I can get to directly where I want to. And this is basically what I wanted to show.